And right here inside the Quicksilver Show
with Dominique the Diva.
Kenny Burns has been trending because he made some remarks to Diddy on Instagram yesterday, and we actually have Kenny Burns on hold right now. What up, boy?
Welcome to the show.
Let's go ahead and get right into it, man. You got blocked by Diddy yesterday for some remarks you made on his comments.
Yeah, man. Listening to the video with him and Naomi, I was kind of bothered by two things. The first thing was that he said this is business and that, basically it's all on the table. Didn't denounce it's business, we need a black agenda, and we're going to hold Biden accountable and we're going to get Trump out of office, or it's business, we're going to put this in motion to make this happen. Denouncing Trump wasn't in the conversation. And then, the last thing that kind of disturbed me, Puff wasn't out there, man. I mean, truthfully, he's not been out there since the Vote or Die campaign on the political side. And for him to just jump out there with 6 months, until the election, it was discouraging to hear him say that he personally is going to hold the black vote hostage until our demands are met. So there's no way, no how everyone shouldn't agree that there's a black agenda and we must have our needs met. But there are two candidates in this race with 6 months left to this election. So telling anyone that something's off the table, especially with all those followers and all of this influence, is purely irresponsible in my eyes.
You think the timing of this was bad, Kenny Burns?
It was horrible. Like I said, people don't read, the articles or the policies quick. They look at the headlines. The headlines is the only thing people reading. And if Puff jumps out there and say, we not, I don't know if you read the comments. People, that's why I ain't vote last time. That's why I ain't voting. Our vote don't matter. That's what you incite when you don't add the agenda to your offering. You don't add the agenda. We need a black vice president, female or male. We need to have X, Y. These things need to be itemized and delivered. People, what I think happens a lot of the time, people are often given the credit of having to understand about what you're talking about. When the majority of the time, people don't know what you're talking about. People are not versed and educated in politics. You know what I'm saying? Like, you
that's
have
real.
To be versed and to really understand what's going on.
And certain people reach certain groups of people. We all know that. That's why it's heavily weighted when Diddy kind of jumps out and says something like this.
It's Diddy, the most enormous figure in pop culture in the last 30 years, and people jumping off the bridge like they're acting like I said I cursed him out and I was like, you a sucker or anything. I said you are irresponsible, which, by the way, we've seen now. In 24 hours later, the conversation has grown. He's going to now go to TV and news channels, so forth and so on, with the information he should have shared in that offering, thanks to the Angela Rye and the Cedar Gods and the Killer Mikes and the Sean King. So, I mean, listen, I've been a change agent my entire life. I've been curating culture on a major level from behind the scenes. I just took it to Instagram. It was a public offering. I made a public comment.
Now, real quick, Kenny Burns, if you're just tuning in, we're talking to Kenny Burns with Quick and Diva. I noticed his son, Justin, kind of went at you in the comments saying, Kenny, you and my dad are friends. You got his number. Why didn't you call him with this?
First of all, my nephew did not come at me. He basically said, OG, like, you could have called us. You still can. Now, that's more of his father, not him, in my opinion. Justin and I have the most special relationship out of any of the Combses, and I only pour into him. So I didn't want to, and I feel bad because everybody in the comments was dragging him and Naomi Campbell. I did not want that. I hit him in a DM like, little bro, it's all love. I'm sorry, nephew, it's all love. My heart. Lead it between me and your father. Because Puff ain't have to delete the statement or the question. All he had to do was come back and be like, hey, here's the agenda, KB. We on it. I need you to mobilize, like he do. But he didn't do that. He erased it and then he blocked it. So, I have as much power. I think he fails to realize that sometimes.
So, besides all of this stuff, everything aside, the posting, the blocking, and all that stuff that we saw yesterday, what do you want your message to be? What do you want everyone to understand where you're coming from? What do you want your message to be to everyone when it comes to this upcoming election?
That we have to give our people the information, that we have to double down on what has to happen for this election, that something has to happen. Most important thing is getting Trump out of office. There can be no room for error in the messaging on that man has to get out of office. There's no room for inconsistencies, gray areas, murky waters. We got to get Trump out of office, and that's my goal. And also, we got to hold our superheroes and our fearless leaders accountable. This is not, us coming at somebody as a troll. This is somebody that known him for 25, 30 years almost said, bruh, you tripping, like we used to do in-house. But he don't have no day ones in-house no more. So don't have me get into that. You can't just be coming out in the ninth inning with 6 months to go to an election, talking about things we should have did during the primary.
Hey, say no more, Kenny Burns. Thank you for always lending your voice to the culture.
Quick. Hold on. You better run this on there. Stop being so political. Stop being so political with your question. You're going to get your Emmy, but don't be political with your big bro. All right? I love you.
I got you, man. Nah, thank you.
Get him in check, Kenny. Keep everybody in check, Kenny. Keep him in check, Kenny. Thank you.
D, I just want you to know you bring an enormous amount of estrogen and personality to the Quicksilver Show. I love y'all as a dynamic duo. Y'all keep going to represent my hometown.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
KB,
all right, you take care.
And all the markets y'all syndicated in. Congratulations.
Put that out there, KB. All right, Kenny. Thank you, Kenny Burns.
Thank you.